All right, so you're welcome to another episode of my Wiz learning journey. Like I said in the last video, where we learned how to generate a compliance report and how we were able to export those reports and also review our posture. Today, we are going to be scheduling a report, okay? And to do that, right, we are already in our report session. It's just a continuation of where we stopped the last time. We'll just have to go. I mean, if you're working on a fresh tenant, you just come over here to report and saved report, and then you come over here to create a report. So when you come over here to create a report, then you go to compliance right here, okay? And we're coming over to compliance executive summary. All right. Now, under a compliance executive summary, it's supposed to bring a dialog box where we fill in our detail. I don't know why it didn't do that. Maybe because I've done it before. Okay, so here it is. So apparently it opened another tab whilst opening what we needed to have here. So for the name here, we'll be using this, right? That's the name we're going to be working with, right? And for our scope, we have all projects. We're leaving it at all projects. For our configuration, we're leaving this in our default. And for our framework, right, we're still sticking to PCI, right? One we were working with before. So the PCI DSS before. And then when that is done, so right under scheduling, you can now come over here to enable a report scheduling. So you can decide to start, you can pick a start date, whichever works for you. So today's date is the 19th of February. I can pick today as my start date. I could pick tomorrow, but I'm going to pick, let's leave it as tomorrow, which is 20th of February. We can leave this as repeat once every week. We can increase it to 3 times every week, depending on how much you want. You could do this daily if you want. This is days. You can leave this as 3 per week, however way that you'd like. I mean, that works, right? So while that has been scheduled and we have picked the times that we want this to repeat, we can now come over to. You can also come over here to select, select an email if you'd like. But for today, we'll not be doing that. We'll just come over here to create a report. All right, straight up, straight up, straight up, straight up. But for now, we've attained our report limit. So right now we cannot create a report because I have attained. I've exhausted my report limits. My report limit has been reached. Speaking by grammar, but I mean you get the gist. I've exhausted it, right? So, but you know how to do that, right? And that's what we're going to. That's what we've done. That's what you can do also. All right, let's see how we can try to select an email. See how this is easy. Just put the email where you want to, send this report to. So you can decide to put your email or whichever email you'd like. So whenever the time that you set reaches, you just send the email. Okay, so the next thing we are going to be doing on this video is to create custom boards. And to do that, you come over to boards. Board should be somewhere around. This is board. Okay, there we have it. And you come to all boards. So you may actually be asking that why do you need a board? So what a board does is that it displays information about your security posture. Okay, and you can always create your own custom board if you'd like to display the information that is most important to you. So today we'll be working on a few ones, about three of them, and we'll see how we can make our own personal custom board. So the first thing is that right now in our board, just move on to create board right here. So the name of our board, I have it saved here somewhere. So this is the name of the board, right? And our visibility, believing it in organization. Okay. So we're done and we click create. And that is going to create our board where we can add our widget, and we'll move to creating our custom boards. I mean, from the widget, of course. So there are many ways to add widgets to your custom board. You can add them from your issues, from the inventory, from the vulnerability, from your findings, or even from a saved, security graph query. Ever, whatever works for you, right? But what we're going to be doing is that we're going to clone a compliance posture, right? Compliance posture score widget from the compliance posture page. And we've done that before, but let's, do that again. So we'll come over here to report, right? Come over to compliance posture. So we are here in our compliance posture. And then remember, I've done this before. That is why I have my framework already set to PCI DSS version 4. But just in case you have your own that looks like a whiz for assessment, you just know that you come over here and then you just, search for this particular one. I mean, that is if, of course, you're doing the particular hands-on that I'm doing. In your own case, you can be looking for something entirely different. So you don't have to search for what I'm searching for particularly. I'd explained that this is the reason that we're working. This hands-on is all, bounded by this PCI DSS version 4. So yeah, so now that this has been, set to PCI DSS version 4, we are now going to click the add to board. Sorry. So you're not going to click the add to board button. And to do that, you come over here to this plus button here, because like I said, we will be cloning a compliance posture from a compliance posture page. So we're cloning this. We'll come into add. All right. So for our widget type 2, we can use this, the PCI. The PCI DSS version 4 compliance store. You can leave the target board the way that it is, and you can click to add to board. You know what? I would have given this a different name, but that's okay. I see that it's creating somewhere else, and you can see that. See how our, I mean, we're already on the verge of creating our own custom board, and this is the very first widget that we added to our board. You can see how that looks like. So we're going to perform the same actions to three others. The next one we're going to be doing is policies. Okay, so the next thing we're going to be doing is to follow this same step that we just followed to add top policies. So we went over to compliance posture. Remember that we're cloning a compliance posture page. So we're going to be adding top policies, right? We can come here and give this a title of, have it saved here, right? I can leave this thing be, and then we add to board. Okay, so we can see that our board is coming to life. All right, so the next thing that we are going to be doing is to add widgets that would display information about the issues that are related to PCI DSS version 4 compliance. And to do that, you just come over to issues. So let's check. This is issues, right? So under issues, you come here to all risk issues, right? So right now, under category, this is category here. You can see that right now it's like risk assessment, but that's not what we want. What we want is that we're looking for a PCI DSS version 4. So when that comes on, click on all categories, right? When that is chosen, then you can click out and come over here and then save as a board widget. That looks good, okay? So under the widget type, we're going to pick issues severity breakdown matrix. Don't worry, I'm still going to do this, but yeah, one step at a time. We're still going to do severity breakdown matrix, issue mean time to resolve gauge by severity, issue average age gauge by severity. But let's just start with this. Okay, so the title, we give this a title of, yeah, give this a title of issues count by severity. Okay, so now that we have done that, the next thing we're going to do is to proceed to save widget. Save widget, and we can see that we have some issues displayed here. Okay, all right, so to do the same thing for those two that I mentioned earlier, you go back to issues. Don't worry, to still redirect us back to this particular board. So we'll come over to all risk issues, you come over to category, and then we search for our guy here and we click on it. So come here to select all categories. That has been done. You can come over here to save as board widget, and we can see that we can work with this. All right, and give it a title close to this, right? And then you save widget. You can see that our board is coming out nicely. And to do the last one, okay, is to do the still, I mean, just repeat the same steps, right? Come over here to categories, right? Come over here. Let's see if it's just gonna be okay. So there she is. So all categories. What's the issue? Okay, so that is done. Come over here to board widgets. And I think the last one is we can do top resource issue list. I will give this widget title of let's say this. Okay, let's give that a risk title of that. Since I mean that is what looks alike. So this title was just given to me from the lab that I use. So they didn't fall from the sky, just so you know. It was provided with the lab. Um, so those titles actually was provided in the lab that I used in learning with. So our board is looking nicely. It's looking all nice and nice. Okay, so right, you can add as many as you want, and I would say now it's looking a bit jam packed. It's looking a bit, you know, crowded. They're not so much, but still, we can make this look better. So you can come over here in this add section, right? So when you click add, you're going to see section heading. You can give this a section name is as whatever you want. Okay, so my title here is going to be this, right? And then my description is going to be this. Okay, so that was copy it twice. So we'll come over here to save. So what this does is that it helps us, rearrange our work. I can see that that has appeared here, right? You can choose to bring this, just drag it and probably just put it here, right? You can see how that works. You can see how we're able to do that. And it looks a bit better. There's a lot more stuff that you can do here. You can add more of the you can add more of those headings, right? And just, keep pulling down. You can leave it up, you can bring it down, whatever you want to do. And this is where we're going to be drawing the curtains because we've done a great job so far. And if you've stayed with me all through the end of this video, if you stayed to the end of this video, I hope that you learned something as much as I did. If you've not subscribed to the channel, this is your cue to do that. So subscribe and turn on your post notifications so that you'll be informed when the next video is going to come up. Do not forget to like this video because it helps, right? It helps boost the algorithm. It also helps to see that you're not just watching, you actually like it. And if you have an opinion, you have a comment, please make use of the comment section. It's there so that I can read it and we can all work together and learn together.